Okay, we're in a 95 Mustang with Mach 460 stereo in it. The head unit quit playing a while back. I haven't been messing with it. And trying to learn how to replace these things can be a real conundrum. I had to do a lot of research, and I went to Best Buy and I bought this wiring harness here that got plugs into the factory. That's the only way to do this. I don't have the part number, but you can do a little bit of research on your own and figure it out. Or, hold on, you know what, I do have the part number. Right there. It's just right there. It is the 705511. If you have the early Mach 460, the way the system works is you had a head unit, you got a CD player that went down here, there's an amp back here, and then there's two in the trunk. We're not going to get into that. So it's not really that complicated once you go through and get this wiring harness. You'll unplug the CD player. You're going to have to get a little cubby thing at a junkyard or whatever to stash in there. There's a couple of things that plug into the back of this. You don't worry about that. There's two plugs in the back of there. Those are ignored. There were three plugs going or into the back of the old radio. One of them, all it is just a loop wire from here off the back of the CD player to the old radio. So the only thing you have to connect is this like 8-pin connector, and then this connector into the factory harness. Don't go chopping on shit. That's stupid. And what I did is I used no wire nuts. I used crimp-on connectors only. Everything is labeled and color coordinated. So if you can't read, match the colors. If you're colorblind, learn to read. And it ties into the new factory harness. Right there's a little plug, and it plugs into, got this little JCV here for $80. So I spent maybe about $110 when I went to the Best Buy. And the reason I went there is because I wasn't sure about which wiring harness to buy, because it is super specific. And I didn't sit out here in this hot ass car putting all this wiring together. I sat at the kitchen table with a decent set of crimpers and wire cutters and got out my terminal kit and connected all this and used a little bit of electrical tape. The thing's got like a little remote and crap on it. I don't know, right here. I'm sure that I will not be using that. Maybe. I don't know why my radio would need a remote. Too fancy for my hillbilly ass. But yeah, do all that and good lighting indoors. I'll sit out here sweating my nuts off. And I've just test ran it, but I plugged it up to my phone so I can make sure the Pandora stuff works, which it does. And everything seems to be okay. There was a question on whether or not one of the amps had died, so I'd sourced an amp at a junkyard. Because I wasn't sure if it was one of the 3 amps or the head unit or if something was boogered up in the CD player. And I'd really kind of just putting off fixing it because I wasn't sure what I needed. But this stabs in here, this stabs in the back. Push this in here. I'm going to get that set, put that in. It's even got a little cover. It pops off so you can lose it and stuff. You've seen radio covers that pop off. Anywho. So, I think doing a couple hours of homework probably saved me 3 days of headache. But whatever you do, don't go start chopping into this thing. And then when you add in all this stuff down here, and if you don't know how it works or what it does, you will be very upset. Somebody else has already done the thinking for you.